For questions 4 and 5, it's all about law of signs and the ambiguous case. For number 4, it gives you that the sine of A is 1/2. And that's pretty powerful because it does the work for you. They didn't tell you that angle A was 1/2. They told you that the sine of A is 1/2. They give you side A is 10, and remember that lowercase letters mean sides, uppercase letters need angles. They give you side B is 15, and they're asking you to find the sine of B. They're not asking you to find angle B. They're asking you to find the sine of B. So it's going to be 10 over the sine of A, which happens to be 1/2, not sine of 1/2, equals 15 over the sine of B. When I cross multiply, I get 10 sine B equals 15 times 1/2, and sine B is equal to 0.75, which is your answer. If you went further on to get the angle, it would have been a deduction because they didn't ask for it. So no, if you said 48 point whatever, you'd be wrong. So the answer is 0.75 or 3/4 would have been acceptable as well. Now for number 5, they're talking about different possibilities. So this is really an ambiguous case question. Normally the straight up in your face ambiguous case questions say, how many triangles can be formed? 0, 1, 2, and it can never be 3 because you can't form 3. Given 2 sides and a non-included angle, or SSA. But here they're talking about acute, obtuse, and stuff like that. So that is a hidden ambiguous case question. So the first column represents the first triangle possibility. The second column represents the second triangle possibility. The first row here represents the given angle. And the second row, this represents the law of sines calculation. This is my supplement box. And these 2 boxes here represent the third angle of the possible triangles, because you know that the sum of the angles of a triangle is 180. So we're going to start with the first triangle with a 30 degree. I'm going to use the law of sines. So we do 9 over the sine of 30. See how they're both A? Side over the sine of the angle equals 8 over the sine of B. And I'm writing B here, not X, because I want to remind myself that I'm finding angle B. When I cross multiply, I get 9 sine B divided by 8. And we're looking for an angle, so we have to do the inverse. So I do second sine 4/9, and I get 26.4. 26 is fine to the nearest degree. If you want to go to the nearest tenth, it's fine as well. I mean, some Part 1 questions, they go to the nearest tenth with these ambiguous case questions, but 26 will be fine for all intents and purposes. So that's the 26 right there. Now to get the third angle, we do 30 plus 26 and subtract that from 180, and your third angle is 124. Now this happens to be an obtuse triangle, because by definition, an obtuse triangle is an angle that has an obtuse angle, and that's an obtuse angle there because it's greater than 90 and less than 180. So now it's definitely one obtuse triangle. Let's check to see for another triangle. I would like to think of an H here. This should add up to 180. This should add up to 180 because they're supplements of each other. 180 minus 26 is 154. And you could see that angle A and angle B their sum exceeds 180, therefore it can't make a triangle. So 30 plus 154 is 184. It's not happening. So what's my answer? I can only make one triangle, and that specific triangle happens to be obtuse, or choice 3.